Hey, what's going on, guys? Back with another PGA video. So here we are. We are at the Memorial. We are actually at the same course as last week, Muirfield Village. Last week I cashed out in the Millie Maker. I got 5 or 6 lineup. Only guy that really killed me last week was Mr. Joel Damon, as I'm sure it killed many people because he was the second highest owned golfer in the Millie Maker last week. So that was interesting. That performance no one really saw coming. He lost shots everywhere, off the tee, putting, approach, so no surprise that he was 16 over, but here we are, we're in a new week, so let's get after it. We're back to a really deep field. Also, the return of Tiger Woods, so I've got to be excited about that. And look at this price. These prices are just awesome. Only one guy over 11K. Only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys over 10K. I mean, that is crazy. This is like major pricing. It's awesome. So, going to be a lot of really good lineups this week, guys. So, we're going to have to really put a good one together. So, let's break it down a little bit. I am just going to do this video. Last week when I did the preview and then the deep dive, no one really got to see the deep dive as much. So I'm just going to do this all in one video. Probably just be a really long video. So, if you want to plug in your headphones and do something else while you listen to me, go for it, guys. So here we are. We're going to just break this down a little bit, and I will let you know who I think you should get in your lineups and who you should avoid. Because this field, there's going to be a couple guys that you kind of want to put in, but I'll show you why they're not so good. So first, we got Big Boy Bryson. Only guy priced over 11K. That's really what's making me love him this week. I don't know why it's not bringing up his menu. Here we go. So Bryson, obviously coming off at Rocket Mortgage, shot all rounds under 70. He's been shooting from the time back, only 2 rounds at 70, not over. So you're probably thinking, why would you not take him? Well, the interesting thing is, at 11K, he's gotta definitely probably hit top 10. He has been doing that. But here's the thing about Muirfield is now last week, Bryson obviously didn't play, but last week at Muirfield they had a lesser rough, and this week obviously they're letting it grow out to make it a bit tougher. And Bryson hits the ball really far. Like obviously he hits it really far, but the problem with Bryson is he's not the most accurate driver. While he hits it really far, I mean, sometimes he gets it on the fairway, but if he gets it in the rough, he may have a couple rough holes this week. And I wouldn't be surprised to see him at least double bogey 1 or 2 times. Now, he hasn't done that yet since returning, but I think this course is going to punish him if he misses fairways, and I think he's going to miss quite a few. Now, obviously not a bad option. I think he's a safe option in terms of making the cut, but the only problem is, out of 11K guy, you need much more than that. And if he does miss the cut, there goes your lineup, because there goes 11K. So as much as I love Bryson DeChambeau and everything about him, I don't love his driving accuracy. So I'm going to stay off of Bryson this week. If you do multiple lineups, you can throw him in. But I'm not going to get too many shares of Bryson this week. JT, we finally got to see the Justin Thomas that we've been waiting for. Played super, super well last week and then choked the lead away at the end. Obviously, he had played okay, here at the Schwab and the Heritage. So he was fine here, but after missing out there, I was kind of worried about him, to be honest. And he proved me wrong, because he came out and he balled out. He did awesome. But as you see on Sunday, he got the Sunday Scaries. So, and the 69 is not a bad round. It's not like he, got the really bad Sunday Scaries like he did here, and shot a 71 at the Charles Schwab on Sunday. But what he's going to have to do is he's going to just have to play 4 good rounds of golf. And honestly, he hasn't really done that. I mean, he played a great... I'm not saying he played bad on Sunday, but he definitely wasn't, his normal stuff. And he only shot 1 shot worse than round 1. So realistically, it's not too bad. But when you're, got Collin Morikawa chasing you at the tail, you got to hit, as many shots as you can. Only had 4 bogeys. So I would assume probably 1 or 2 of them came on Sunday. But JT, I really like him here, 10-9. Played well. pretty good accuracy with driver. So JT definitely a good option here. I think he's gonna be safe to make the cut. I think now a lot of people are gonna ask, since he played here last week, is that really gonna help him a lot this week, or will it not matter? Well, like I said, they're changing the course up a little bit. I think they are either making it longer or shorter. I can't remember off the top of my head. So that's gonna change, and then obviously the rough's gonna be a bit thicker. So I like JT. He's a fine spend up option. I don't think he's my favorite, but he's a fine spend up option as long as he can, do what he did last week and get you a nice top 5. Rory. Rory's priced down at 10.7. He hasn't been priced this low, I think, since the U.S. Open last year. This is a really good price for Rory. All the upside in the world. Now, I was watching Rick Rungood's YouTube video. If you haven't checked him out yet, definitely check him out. He does a really great video. But interesting, he's the only 10K player either win or run his last of golf tournaments. So that's going to be really interesting. We're hoping to see the Rory that obviously top 5 at Arnold Palmer. Came 5th at WGC Mexico. We want to see that Rory. The problem is we haven't. He played okay. He shot 63 at the Travelers, and we thought, all right, here comes Rory. And then he did okay the rest of the tournament, but didn't really show Rory McIlroy that we're used to seeing. That 63, that was McIlroy. This is an so he's probably going to have the least ownership in the 10K range, which is appealing to me. Probably not my favorite. I do like him a lot. I think I'll play more throwing there. I honestly like him more than this week, just side. And if he hits the Rory or the Rory before the break. But he's definitely a perfectly good spend up option here at 10.7. All right, now we got DJ. DJ, I don't know how I feel about him. He obviously is coming off the win at the Travelers. Just a really high price to pay for DJ, who, he got his game together. Obviously, he had that 61 on round 3 that really helped him. And honestly, it's a Todd for him, DJ. Now, obviously, DJ, not a bad golfer at all. Very good. In the tier that he's in, I'm not giving too much DJ. I think he'll be good. I think he can make the cut for sure. But at this price, you really want the guy to top 10 or top 15. And I can tell you for certain that DJ will do that for you. So just not my favorite spend up option. Fine, but not my favorite guy here. He's another one. He's going to have to drive really accurate this week, like Bryson, to be really up there. So DJ, fine, but not great. Morikawa, no, I like Morikawa a lot. He's probably my favorite 10K plus option, him and Rory, but he's going to be chalk. He's going to be obviously last week, came second to Charles Schwab. That kind of weird phase where he was like trying to figure out a shot, and he found it last week. He had 24 birdies, which is he's 19 under at a course where the cut last year was +1. +1. And this guy goes out and shoots 18 under. Now, obviously, he had a rough day on Saturday, but he put 4 like this together and had obviously said more has another good win this week. Made 14 cuts, usually very safe to make the cut. Honestly, the only cut he missed was Travelers. So, but like I said, GP. Are you going to get the? I think sometimes you do. I don't think you have to, but I like Morikawa this week. Patrick Cantlay here at 9.8. Obviously won the Memorial last year. Played okay last week. Had a really good Sunday to get a T7, but really the rest of the weekend, very meh. Like not. He barely made the cut. He made the cut by I think he made it by 1 stroke, and then came out and shot 65 on Sunday. Now I don't know if that was just him finally getting a swing back, but as you see, like he had really good Sundays in his past tournaments here. So that's something that can come out of nowhere. Just put together a really nice Sunday. But I mean, a lot of people go to CANTLAY because he won here last year. Can he win again? Absolutely. But for a guy in the 9-8 range, I think there's some better options here, and I really like CANTLAY better option. Now we get to stare at him for an extra 3 seconds because my computer's slow. And now here's where I'm going to start my lineup, right here with Webb Simpson. Now obviously, like I said, I'm going to get some Rory, I'm going to get some MORIKAWA, but I think in my Millie Maker lineup, my first one that I build, I'm going to start right here. Not a lot of people will play Webb Simpson. Rick Rungood was talking about it a lot in his video. Yeah, not a lot of Webb, and he's not a bomber. He's going to go out there and hit 150 yards like Bryson. He's not a popular guy. But I mean, look at his last 2 starts. Tied for 8 at the Rocket Mortgage and won the RBC Heritage. So he missed 1 cut since being back, and that was at Charles Schwab. He's a +2. That was a round, but I mean, look at that. I mean, he shot a great win at RBC. He's really accurate with his irons. I really like Webb. He gains a lot of strokes on approach as well as around the important. So Webb, this is where I'm mostly going to start most of my lineups. And if he's not popular, I think he could be a really big piece in the lineup this week. VIKTOR HOVLAND, another one. Really like him a lot. Obviously, his iron game is what he's known for, and he came in 3rd. Now, what's important to note here, though, is Hovland's played 6 weeks in a row. Now, at least this week, his crowd not going to be an issue as much, but it's going to be interesting to see if some fatigue starts coming in. He is a young guy, 21, so not as concerned about it as I would be for, like, a Tiger Woods who's just coming back this week, which I'll get into more when we get to Tiger. But I think Hovland's a good player. I think his approach is really going to help him here. I think really what's going to depend on is can he hit his fairways. And he can hit his fairways. He has been doing. He's been gaining a lot of strokes off the tee. I think he's going to be a really good option here. He's going to be super popular because of the way he played last week. But I think I would much rather Holland chalk than the CANTLAY chalk. And Holland and Morikawa are going to be probably the 2 highest owned guys other than Tiger Woods because all the casuals that are coming in are going to take Tiger Woods. But I like Hovland a lot here at 9.5. HIDEKI, I talked about it last video. I didn't know if his game was back. I wanted to wait until he showed it. And those last 2 rounds have been pretty good. Minus 13 at Rocket Mortgage, workday. Kind of faded in the weekend, but he was up at the first stage of the leaderboard for Thursday and Friday. Matsuyama, I mean, he's a good option, but I think there are better options in this range. Now, could he go out and win? Sure, but I'm not as high on HIDEKI still. He has around yet, which is kind of what's scaring me off of him a little bit. But I don't mind him, but not my favorite play here before. All right, Jon Rahm. Oh, speaking of chalk, here we go. So Jon Rahm is priced at 9.3. He's the 2nd ranked golfer in the world, or 3rd, and he's priced at 9.3. I don't really know what DK was doing. I guess it's just recency bias, but he shot a 64 on Sunday, so that obviously gave you some kind of promise or upside. But I mean, if you look at his numbers, other than Charles Schwab, where he missed the cut, he's not bad numbers. Everyone's just birdie happy right now. And I think that's going to change this week now that the rough is going to be a bit rougher. And I think Rahm is a guy who can really stand out. Now, in GPPs, I wouldn't get too much Rahm. I would get him just in case he shows that second rank golfer upside. But the problem with Rahm is that he put the 4 rounds together yet. I mean, he finally had the 7-1 on Sunday, but just hasn't had the round yet. 70 would really kind of scary. Round 3, honestly, got really scary there for a second, and then came back on Sunday and obviously killed it. So Rahm is a guy that is going to be chalky. I think if he does well, he's going to be off the lineup. But probably a guy that I get to a little just a ton. Xander SCHAUFFELE. So he was interesting last week. He was my spend up option last week for the Workday Charity Open. Ended up T14. Kind of had a rough round here on Friday, but shot a 66 on round 3, shot a 70 on round 4, finished 10 under. I'm fine with that. He had an eagle, and team did have 2 double bogeys, which was kind of fun, but I at 2 I really like that price, but if he double bogeyed last week, with this being a tougher course, honestly, I think my prediction Xander misses out. He's made bubble, but if you're gonna double bogey an easy course, obviously maybe he figured something out from that, but I don't love Xander. I think I'm gonna stay off of him. Just guys I like better. All right, Brooks. Oh, Brooks KOEPKA ended up only missing the cut by 1 stroke. Now shot a 74 on round 1. I think he was +8 on the front 9, and then shot insane back 9 to get kind of in contention, and then shot a decent round on Friday, but just didn't have enough. I missed the cut on the number. So, I mean, look at that. He had 4 bogeys and 2 double bogeys. That was all on 1 back 9, I think, or 1 front 9. He was at +8 at one point. That like, Brooks can really get shit going, whether it's good or bad. I think the layoff hurt him a little bit because, he obviously had a couple weeks off that he had to wait for his caddy to be cleared. I think that hurt. I think he started getting his groove back. I don't remember Brooks here at 9-1. Really good, I think, to Tiger, who we're going to talk about next. But I don't mind him as a pivot play. Tiger Woods, here we go. So he's made 4 cuts this year. That's interesting. Now, I actually haven't seen Tiger play that much this year. 3 top 10s, though, so that's interesting to note. Now, this is his first tournament since February. So, what do we got? 5-month layoff here? It's Tiger, though. So, you gotta, look at first place at the Zozo Championship. Goes back in October. 4th at the Hero World, tied for Farmers, and then the Genesis, he made the cut but kind of faded a bit on the weekends. So, Tiger Woods, we're going to pick up ownership. I'm going to personally fade him just because of that layoff. I don't see him being a standout play, but I think he's going to eat up a lot of ownership, and if he makes a cut, I think he can make a splash, but I'm personally going to fade Tiger. I'm not even going to look at Justin Rose because he did so bad last week. He burned a lot of people. That may drive his ownership down, but he's such a scrambler that the rough this week is going to kill him. If people go back to Justin Rose here and hope that he has a bounce back week, good luck to you, because I'm not getting any Justin Rose. Rickie Fowler. Now, a lot of people were talking about Rickie Fowler not playing very good golf, and then comes out and gets back-to-back top 25s. I'm perfectly fine with Rickie. I think his price is a bit high for what I think. I don't think he's winning a tournament at this point, especially in this field. So, personally not going to put too many shares into Rickie Fowler, but I see why you'd want to draft him. I just think there are better options here, like the guy I'm going to be talking about next, once Rickie Fowler goes away, which is Daniel Berger. Had a couple weeks off, but obviously has had some really good finishes since the restart. Price at 8,700. I thought he was 8,900. 8,700 is even better. So look at his last 4 tournaments. I mean, I know obviously these were a while ago. First tied, so he hasn't played since Heritage. So he took a month off. I'm not really sure why. He was playing super good, but he's a guy that I think be a really good option this week. Now, with the layoff, though, I'm not as excited to play Daniel Berger as a lot of people will be. I think he's kind of just like anyone that has a layoff either comes off really good or really bad. He was playing golf here. I guess we didn't have any COVID stuff, or at least nothing that was publicly announced. But this was a decent price, honestly. We get a little better, but I don't think I'm going to put him in my maker lineup, and if I do, then I'll have to look at my numbers, but I don't mind him. I think he's a good play. Gary Woodland, very interesting here. So he actually got a price bump. Now, I know he did well on Sunday, but was really having a rough time in the first round. Oh, wow, he actually got all the way up to 5th. I didn't even notice that. Shot a super good Saturday, which is why. But it was funny. I don't know if you guys saw the video of him backing up this golf cart into a fence. Since that happened, he played super well. I think he did that on Friday and ended up making the cut and shot a super good weekend. So, not my favorite price. I think is out. So, avoid. I think that, and just stay off him. But he's a good approach player. So, if you want a shot on Woodland, go for it. All right. I really like ANCER here. 8,500. The only problem with ANCER is he doesn't drive it very far. But this is a very second shot favor course. So if you have a very good second shot, you're going to get rewarded. That's what RBC Heritage was. That's what Travelers was. And he did super well there. And Charles Schwab too. I mean, he's made cuts, took a week off, but he's just been playing really consistent golf. I think he's going to be overlooked here at this price because I think a lot of people are going to pivot to Berger and Woodland. But ANCER could be a really nice pivot here. I think it'll probably be maybe between 10 to 15% of which I think is value. I like ANCER a lot. I think he's going to be a pretty safe bet to make the cut. And he's got the driving accuracy that you really want this week. Patrick Reed. This is another bold prediction, but I do not think Patrick Reed is going to make the cut. The only way that Patrick Reed makes the cut is if his putter comes alive. The rough is just super difficult. He's really known for his screening ability, putting ability, but the only way he's gonna really make a splash is if that putter is hot. And I do not want to put my Millie Maker share into a guy who is all the on the putter. So I'm going to stay off of Patrick Reed. I don't even know why I pulled this screen up because I didn't even want to talk about him. All right. The lower 8K range, so there's going to be a couple guys that I skip out on just because I don't want this to be an hour-long video. I think we're already over 23 minutes, so I'm going to be a little quicker. But if you have any questions about a guy that I didn't talk about, definitely put it in the comments, and I'll try to get to all the comments. Tony Finau, don't mind him, but I think there's better guys in this area. I'd much rather go to ANCER here. It's $200 more dollars. SUNGJAE. All right, let's look at SUNGJAE because SUNGJAE is really interesting because the last 2 tournaments he's just barely made the cut and then just really hasn't done anything with it. I mean, look at these last 3 tournaments. I mean, he's made the cuts, but I mean, look at these fantasy outputs: 66.5, 73.5, 60. Not really what I'm looking out of an 8,200 guy. Obviously missed the cut at Heritage. He's still trying to find a game, and that scares me at this course because this course can really punish that. I think Sung's going to full on fade for me. I just wanted to see his number specifically. I don't know why I pulled him up even, but all right. Jason Day. Jason Day is interesting. Really good around the green player, which makes it really makes him a really good option here. Now I do think he'll be a bit chalky just because he played so well last week. Pretty consistent too. I mean, 69, 71, 70, 67. So not outstanding numbers by any means, but just are pretty good, pretty consistent. Cuts made, though, that's a bit sketchy, but really all that matters is since the restart and he's 2 for 4, so he kind of matches that ratio. But he didn't shot bad. He hasn't really shot a bad round of golf yet. So not a bad option. It depends on if you're willing to sweat out Friday, because I don't think he's going to make the cut by too much. I don't think he'll be an outright leader at any point, but he could be a guy that is down here that makes a cut pretty good. Joaquin NIEMANN, an interesting option down here, below 8K. I don't think he's the best option at this price range, but I do like his upside. Placed 5 at the Heritage, made the cut last week. Didn't really shoot a great Saturday, shot a pretty good Sunday. Basically, all depends on his driving accuracy. He's a really good approach player, so I like that about him. But it all depends on how many fairways he can hit and how his putter is. So Niemann bad option, probably not my favorite, but don't mind him here. Next guy is Paul Casey. Paul Casey is interesting. He's 8 for 8 on cuts this year. Only his second tournament since being back. Made the cut at, I believe it was Travelers that he came back at. Yes, it was. So he made the cut at Travelers, shot a 10 under, tied for 32nd. That's fine. Honestly, pretty safe guy for this range. I think you can bet on him making the cut. I really should bad around golf since the Genesis on Sunday, but then wow, he had an 81. that's a problem though. So I don't mind PC. I think he's a safe option. I don't think he's gonna score fantasy points by any means, but I think he's definitely a safe option if you just want to have a guy that you feel safe about making the cut. Sergio always competes good. I really like Sergio this week. Why don't we bring him up, because I do like Sergio. He's always in, like, it seems like his name always comes up on Sunday, and I really like that about him. I mean, he always shoots his best rounds on Sunday. It all depends on how Friday goes usually. He did obviously very well at the head, but he's a guy that either sucks, like he did Charles Schwab. I mean, he didn't suck, but he just didn't stand out. Or he's right in there on Sunday. I mean, he shot a 66 to get up to for 32nd. The Travelers shot a 10 under, had 70 points. I mean, it's fine. But he had to hit 100. So I'm all on Sergio this week. I like him a lot. I think as long as he hits his fairways, he's going to be fine. All right. Don't want any Leishman, even though he's a really good approach player. He kind of just blew up last week, and some people may go back to him. I will not be. Jordan Spieth at 7,700. Not a ton of interest here, only just because of the price and the name. I think he's going to be high owned because of that. I think he shot 2 rounds at even at the charity. So very meh stuff from Jordan Spieth. I think obviously this week's gonna be a lot tougher. Yeah, so he shot flat even. Had 5 birdies, 5 bogeys, a double bogey, and an eagle. Yeah, so you literally see a mirror here. Wow, that's pretty awesome. So take one and see if you think that he's valued, make the cut at this price range and go for it. Not my favorite golfer though. Benny Ann, you basically just have to hope that his driver is accurate. Not my favorite option. I mean, he did fine last week, I think, right? Oh no, he did terrible last week. What am I saying? That's right, because he shot a really good Friday. But Thursday he was bad. He was just bad. I mean, that Friday looks good. I'm not gonna get there though. He's 12 for 17 on cuts, and 2 of those are since restart. I'm not gonna get any in, especially at that price, 7,700. There's better options here. Ian Poulter, very good golf. He's been playing lately. Really good around the green guy. Really good approach. I like Poulter a lot. I played him last week. Scored me 101. Has 2 hundreds in his last 4 tournaments, so that's good to look at. Made every cut. Been in contention in half the tournaments. At a 7,600 price, I love that. 11 to 12 cuts made as well on the year. So Poulter, really good option. Streelman's going to be chalky. Now, I talked crap about him last week for his price and the amount of cuts that he made. And then he came out and just, did well. Shot a 11 under, scored 88.5. Had a really good travel. I mean, he's been hot lately. But I mean, if you look at that, missed the prior 2 cuts, so you're getting a guy who's either going to make the cut and compete on Sunday, or make the cut and kill the lineup. So even though he's been hot as of late, I think I'm going to fade just because I'm not 100% on him. Doc is back in the field. I like Doc this week. As long as his driving accuracy is there, I think he's a really good option here at 76. Sab's really good option at 75. Played well last week. Horschel, he's okay. Not a great play here. Kistner. Now, Kistner's interesting. I actually haven't looked a lot at Kistner. Made 10 of 15 cuts. Was my big play, obviously, at the Rocket Mortgage. I came in third. Obviously, had missed the prior 2 cuts. So, he's another guy who can either come out and play third or get cut. But the thing for me is that was a really good field. And I don't have enough trust in Kistner to make it in a star-studded field like this. So I'm him this week, even though I don't mind his price. Just hasn't really shown up in those big fields yet. Connors, I like. Now Hadwin, holy crap! Whoever decided to price Adam Hadwin at 7,400, really should consider a new job, because Hadwin has made every cut since being back. He's 4 for 4 on that, and he's been competing. I mean, he had obviously the tough round here on Saturday, but then on Sunday, brought it back to a 68. I mean, he didn't have a great fantasy put last week, which I guess is why his price was lowered, but 113, 88, and 75.5 for that. Adam Hadwin, I know he's probably going to be chalky, but at 7,400, I'm very willing to eat that chalk. Cam Champ didn't do very well last week. Don't love Cam Champ. Getting no Matthew Wolf. Phil is interesting because Phil has been kind of changing his game up a little bit, and I think it's going to hurt him a lot this week. So we've seen Phil's name at the top of the leaderboard a couple times here, but I mean, hasn't really been able to finish. Obviously, I cut Charles Schwab pretty well at Travelers, but had a tough weekend. He played really well the weekend, and on the worst day, not in a weak field. Well, not a star-studded field like this one, but it was a decent kind of weak field. But shot 73, 74, 72. I think Phil's going to get hurt this because he's trying to change his game from being a driving accuracy player to a driving distance player. I think he's going to hit a lot of rough, and I think he's going to be tough. And he's going to probably get a lot of ownership because he's Phil Mickelson and he's priced at 7,300. Don't want any of him. Bubba Watson, not even a consideration after what I saw last week. Did okay on Friday, but Thursday was so bad. Harris English making a return. Obviously, he had COVID-19, but he's back, and I don't mind him. Did pretty well at Heritage. Actually did really well at Heritage. And at this price, I mean, you're taking a chance on a guy who, he's been out for about a month, and he's a guy who can top 10 easily. I really like him in English. He's going to be another guy who's going to be all dependent on accuracy. So I like Harris English. I really like the price. Probably one of the better ones down here. Kevin Na. Kevin Na is interesting because he actually had to withdraw from, I believe it was Travelers. He had to withdraw because of a back issue. Took last week off and is back in the field this week. Honestly, at 7,200, I really wish I knew how his back was, because he can say to everyone oh, my back's fine now, I'm ready to get back in another Memorial. But the problem is if he does have an issue with his back and withdraws again, it's gonna suck. So the 7,200 price tag is so nice. It's so nice because the guy can make the 10 15 this year, win, and has 3 top 10s. So I mean, this price tag is awesome. So the strategy came fit, shot really, really well there. but has missed 2 cuts since being back. Now he withdrew at Rocket Mortgage, but to be fair, I don't think he was going to make the cut anyway, unless he shot a really good round 2. I don't think he was on to really get there, but definitely not a bad option. At 7,200, it's all going to be dependent on his back. Now, if I was 100% certain that he was good to go and his back was fine, give me all the Kevin Na, but since we don't know, it's kind of tough. I mean, if you want to take a chance on that, and and he comes out and plays really well, then you got super rewarded because his price is 7,200. Should not be down here. These 2 guys, I don't want any of them. Scotty has been really bad since his return. Obviously, now he did have that 7 under round after the 7 over, and still missed the cut by 5 shots. With him having so many bogeys. Now, see, what's funny here with Scotty is, so at the Rocket Mortgage, he had a 79, right? So he went 7 over, and then went 7 under 2, and had no. At the WEBB, he did fine, just do well enough to make the cut. So he's missed 3 straight cuts. Just not a guy I want to take a chance on when he's so bogey. He can get bogeys so quick, and I don't want to have too many guys that scare the crap out of me this week. So Scotty, it's just too scary for me. Joel lost strokes everywhere last week. Everywhere. Off the tee, approach, around the green, putter. I think he lost about 16 strokes last week. And that makes sense because he was 16 over. So, didn't gain a stroke anywhere. So, for that reason, no Joel Don for me. And he's probably going to come out this week and kick ass. But, no, thank you. Harmon, he's fine. Pretty consistent guy. Just not a top-tier golfer that's going to win you a tournament. Now, Brandon Steele's interesting. Brandon Steele's really, really interesting because last week he gained, I believe it was 7 or 8 strokes off the tee, but lost 7 with the putter. He has not done that bad since, I believe, the U.S. Open last year, where he lost about the same, and his worst before that was like losing 5. Still was 2 under, had one day, but he had 18 birdies, 2 double bogeys. So it doesn't scare me. But if he even putts a little bit better than last week, even if he only loses like 3 strokes with the putter, like the 5 under, 5 under is going to be a really good score this week. Or at least it'll make it. I think Steele is an interesting option. I personally will probably take him at 700. Probably in my opinion. That's huge this week. I really like Brandon Steele. And now we get to the 7K. Oh, well, we got Glover and Varner. I don't want any Varner. Varner kind of sucked last week. Glover's interesting, though. Glover at 7,100. Again, not a guy who's probably going to win you a golf tournament, but can make the cut and makes some sort of run. The only thing that's going to hurt him here is distance. But, I mean, he's been very consistent. Look at that. Look at that consistency. 89, 89.5, 89.5, 7. I mean, that's amazing, honestly. Pretty good with avoiding the bad shots other than Charles Schwab, but I mean, he's a good option, honestly. Like, he's super consistent. Last time he missed a cut was at Palmer back in March. So, I mean, that's kind of scary because I feel like these courses, both those courses, kind of hurt you for putting it in the rough. But Lucas Glover, really consistent. I don't mind going to him at all. Substrata, he's either a guy that's going to get cut or put up a really nice fantasy day. So it all depends on what you want if you want to bite your nails on Friday. All these guys, not too much interest. Nick Taylor, pretty good option, honestly, at 6,900. Kind of faded on Sunday. But Nick Taylor not bad. Let's look at him real quick. I know last week what did he finish? I know he was up there on Saturday. I don't remember where he finished. So yeah, he really faded. Oh yeah, no, Saturday that he sucked. Yeah, Saturday he sucked. Sunday actually wasn't too bad. Tied for 48th. It's fine. This was actually the first event back. 2 weeks, had 2 double bogeys, 11 bogeys. Yikes. So that's not great. But Nick Taylor, I mean, he's good off the tee, but his approach game hasn't really been great. So, oh no, flip-flop that. His approach game has been good. His off the tee has been meh. I think he gained like 2 strokes off the tee. So actually, yeah, no, he's been good. He's been good off the tee. Forget I said that. His putting's been bad. His putting, he lost, let's see. He lost about half a stroke, 1 stroke with the putter. Yeah, so I mean, it's not bad, but usually he's pretty good with the putter. No Norin. I don't really love the guys down here. Brendan Todd, pretty good option here at 6,900. Max Homa. Max Homa has been pretty bad since the restart, but before the restart, he was super good. I don't mind his price, 6,800 for him. Him and Lanto are actually priced at the same tag, which is really interesting. Only made 1 cut since the restart. He didn't play bad golf though. He missed it right on the number. He just didn't birdie enough. I mean, it's not a bad option. Probably one of the safer 6-8 options. With him in the last 3 or 4, it really scares me. I'm probably not gonna play Max Homa, but I can see why you would. Mav lost strokes pretty much everywhere last week. Don't really want any of him. Lanto back down at 6,800. I think he also missed the cut, but I think he was also 1 under. So again, not bad golf, just missed it on the number. And that was the first week that he was over 7K, and I faded him because of that. So yeah, so he shot a 75 on Friday. Yeah, so, oh, he was 1 over. Yeah, so shot a good round 1, but round 2 not so much. Maybe missed 4. I think he's back. I don't like Lanto. I like Lanto and home. I like Lanto a lot more than home. Wow, we're really up there in time now, aren't we? 42 minutes. Holy crap. On here. There we go. So if you guys have stuck around for this long, I really appreciate that. Smack the like button, subscribe button. Be sure to comment if you have any questions. I'm probably going to be wrapping this quickly here. Guys, Gooch actually is a really good option here at 6,500. Played super well last week. Really good iron guy. As long as he drives accurately, he's going to have a good week. He's probably my favorite value option. I see his name down here. Other than that, not really much down here for me. Norlander, actually. Norlander's not bad. He's safe recently. Played really well since the restart. I like him. And I think that's going to be it. Well, Neesmith's down here too. Neesmith's not a bad option. Yeah, I'm really going to get to. I don't want anyone 6-1 or lower. So as low, I think Norlander is as low as I want to go. Norlander's probably as low as I want to go. But I do really like, I really like Gooch here at 6,500. I think he's going to be the value play of the week. The only problem with Gooch is he's probably not going to come out and win the thing. So, you know, but at this price, you just want to make the cut. He made the cut last week, scored 80 fantasy points. Yeah, I like Gooch. I like Gooch a lot. 2 top 10s this year. Even though 17. Interestingly enough, though, he missed the prior 3 cuts. Actually, that's kind of scary, but I mean, seems to like the course though. So I will get some Taylor Gooch. I will definitely get some. Wrap up. Thank you so much for listening. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments, and I will try to get to as many of them as possible. So be sure to check it out. Thank you, guys.